My name is Freya. I'm 32 years old, and the day I refused marriage, that day, my family rejected me for life. I was 26 when it all started. Mom called me to the living room. Dad, Grandma, and my aunts were all sitting there. "Freya, we found a good match for you," Mom said. My heart sank. I already knew this conversation was coming. His name is Daniel, 30 years old. He's a doctor, good family, perfect match for you. I took a deep breath. "Mom, I don't want to get married right now." The room went completely silent. Everyone stared at me like I'd committed a crime. Grandma reacted first. "What do you mean you don't want to? You're 26. Girls your age are having children and you're still dreaming about your career?" "Yes, Grandma. I want to focus on my career." Dad slammed his hand on the table. "Career! Always career! Freya, you already have a job. Now get married, settle down, live a normal life." "But Dad, Aunt Linda interrupted. "Look, honey, I'm trying to help you. For girls, career isn't important. Marriage is important. A husband is important. Children are important." Mom held my hands. "Freya, please, don't let this proposal go. You won't find a guy like Daniel again. Your age is increasing." "I'm only 26. "Exactly," Grandma said. "You're 26. And still single. What will people say? What about our family's reputation?" I stood there. Everyone's eyes on me. The pressure was intense, really intense. But then I decided, no, I won't do this proposal. I don't want to get married right now. Everyone was shocked, completely shocked. Mom's face turned red. "You won't listen to us? You'll ignore your parents' wishes?" "I can't ignore my own life, Mom." Dad stood up. "Fine. Do whatever you want. But remember, when you don't find anyone, when you grow old, alone, don't say we didn't warn you." Grandma added, "You're selfish. Completely selfish. You only think about yourself, not about family." "Aunt Linda, I guarantee you, in 5 years you'll regret this. When all your friends are married and settled and you have nothing." Uncle Robert called from across the room. "A career doesn't make a home, Freya. You need a husband. Children, drop these fancy dreams." I left, went to my room, and cried. The next week, Mom stopped talking to me. Dad became distant. Grandma threatened to remove my name from her will. Relatives started talking about me in WhatsApp groups. Freya rejected the proposal. How arrogant. Who does she think she is? My cousin's wedding came. Everyone ignored me. Like I didn't exist. Aunt Linda said loudly, "Look, my daughter is so happy after marriage. Takes care of the house, takes care of her husband. That's a real woman." Then she looked at me and said, "Some people ruin their lives chasing careers." Everyone laughed. I felt humiliated, but I stayed strong. I had made my decision, and I was sticking to it. I started working harder at my job. Extra hours, extra projects, extra everything. But family never forgave me. At every family function, every festival, I was a joke. A warning for other girls. Don't be like Freya. Look how lonely her life is. 6 years passed. I turned 32, and then everything changed. Because what I was about to become, nobody had imagined. Before I tell you how I built an empire that shocked my entire family, hit subscribe and like this video. Because when they saw my 3,000 employees, their mockery turned to silence. Look, after that day, I threw myself into work. I was working at a small tech startup. We were only 15 people, but I believed in what we were building. I worked 12-hour days, sometimes 14. I learned coding, learned management, learned everything I could. My boss, Marcus, noticed. "Freya, you're incredible. I'm promoting you to team lead." I was 27, leading a team of 5 people. It felt good, really good. But family? They didn't care. At Christmas dinner, Aunt Linda asked, "So Freya? Still single? Still playing career woman?" Everyone laughed. I just smiled and said nothing. 2 years later, something big happened. Marcus called me into his office. "Freya, I'm leaving to start my own company, and I want you to come with me as co-founder." My heart stopped. "What? You're the best person I know. You work hard. You're smart. You care. I need someone like you to build this with me." I said yes, without thinking twice. We started a software company, just the two of us, working from a tiny apartment. No salary, no guarantee, just hope. It was hard, really hard. There were days I cried, days I wanted to quit, days I thought maybe Aunt Linda was right. Maybe I should have just gotten married. But then I'd remember that feeling of being told I wasn't enough, that my dreams didn't matter, and I'd keep going. 1 year later, we landed our first big client. A major company hired us to build their software system. The payment? $500,000. I couldn't believe it. We were actually making it. Marcus and I hired 10 people, then 20, then 50. By the time I was 30, we had 200 employees. By 31, we had 800. And now, at 32, we have 3,000 employees. Offices in 5 countries, revenue of $50 million a year. And I was the CEO. Marcus had stepped back. He wanted to focus on product. I was running the entire company. Me, the girl who was told her career didn't matter. The girl who was mocked for refusing marriage. I was on the cover of business magazines, featured in interviews, speaking at conferences. But you know what? I still hadn't told my family. They thought I was just working at some random tech job. They had no idea what I'd built. Until Aunt Linda's daughter's wedding, I got the invitation. I almost didn't go. But something told me, this is the moment. I showed up in a designer dress, drove up in a Tesla. My assistant was with me. When I walked in, everyone stared, whispered, "Is that Freya? She looks different." Mom came over. "Freya, you came. Whose car is that?" "Mine," I said. Her eyes went wide. "What? How can you afford—" "Let's celebrate first. We'll talk later." The wedding went on. Everyone was having fun, dancing, eating. Then the speeches started. Aunt Linda got up, and of course, she had to take a shot at me. My daughter found the perfect husband. She's settled, happy. Unlike some people who chose loneliness over love, she looked directly at me. Everyone turned to look at me too. I stood up. "Can I say something?" The room went quiet. Everyone was staring. "Aunt Linda, you're right. I chose differently. 6 years ago, I refused a marriage proposal. And you all mocked me for it, called me selfish, arrogant, told me I'd regret it." Aunt Linda looked smug, like she was about to be proven right. I continued. "And I want to thank you, because that mockery, that rejection, it gave me the fuel I needed to succeed." I pulled out my phone and showed them my company website. 6 years ago, I co-founded a tech company. Today, I'm the CEO. We have 3,000 employees across 5 countries. Last year, we made $50 million in revenue. The room gasped. Everyone's jaws dropped. Mum's hand went to her mouth. Dad looked shocked. Grandma was speechless. Aunt Linda's smug expression disappeared. She looked pale. That Tesla outside. Company car. This dress? Bought it last week without checking the price. My assistant who came with me. One of 3,000 people who work for me. I looked around the room. You all told me that career doesn't matter for women. That I needed a husband to be complete. That I'd grow old and lonely and regretful. I smiled. But look at me now. I'm not lonely. I have a company full of people who respect me. I have success I built myself. And I have something you'll never have. The knowledge that I did it my way. Uncle Robert tried to speak. Freya, we didn't know. No, you didn't know. Because you never asked. You never cared about my life. You only cared about judging it. Grandma stood up. Her face was red. Not with anger. With shame. Freya, I'm sorry. I was wrong about you. Mum started crying. My daughter. My brilliant daughter. Why didn't you tell us? Would you have listened? Or would you have just told me to quit and get married anyway? Dad came over. I'm proud of you. I should have said that 6 years ago, but I'm saying it now. I looked at all of them. I don't need your pride now. I needed your support then, when I was making the hardest decision of my life. But you gave me mockery instead. Aunt Linda finally spoke. Her voice was shaking. I'm sorry, Freya. I was cruel to you. I thought I was helping, but I was just projecting my own insecurities. You made me feel worthless, I said quietly. Every family function, every comment, every laugh. You made me feel like my dreams were stupid. She started crying. I know, and I hate myself for it. You're incredible. You've achieved more than any of us, and I tore you down for it. The whole room was silent, just watching, listening. I took a deep breath. I forgive you, all of you, not because you deserve it, but because holding on to anger will only hurt me. I've moved on. I've built a life I'm proud of, and I don't need your validation anymore. I turned to leave, but then Mom grabbed my hand. Please, don't leave like this. Stay. Let's celebrate you. Let's celebrate what you've achieved. I looked at her. At Dad. At Grandma. At all the relatives who had mocked me. Okay, I said. But things need to change. No more mocking women for their choices. No more forcing marriage on anyone. No more making people feel small for dreaming big. Everyone nodded. Some were crying. Some were just stunned. That night, I became the center of attention. People asked me about my company, my journey, my success. Young girls came up to me. You're my hero, one said. My family wants me to get married, but I want to study. You give me hope. That's when I realized this wasn't just about me. This was about every woman who's been told her dreams don't matter. Every woman who's been pressured to give up herself for others' expectations. I refused marriage. They mocked me. But now I'm a CEO with 3,000 employees. And they? They learned a lesson they'll never forget.